Welcome to today's episode of Relationships Turned On. Today we're talking about the exhausted wife guide to stopping the performance. This is for you if you are carrying extreme mental load, you feel like you do it all, you feel like you get no help, no support, you're constantly on, and honestly, you don't know how to stop. You also don't know how to get support, you don't know what to do. You're feeling pretty fried. You're overworked, you're overexhausted, you're stressed, you're fatigued, and if you don't do it, who will? If you don't step up, who will? If you don't look after the kids, who will? If you don't do the dishes, who will? And so it constantly is this mental drain on you 24/7 to hold everything in your head, to do everything, to be constantly moving and constantly on. And honestly, it's taking its toll on you. You can feel it in your body. We're going to talk about what just being looks like in a marriage, the power of showing up imperfectly, how vulnerability creates connection, and why rest is not laziness, it's wisdom, and the difference between doing and being. You're performing your life instead of living in it. Honestly, you're on 24/7, you're high achieving, so you struggle with slowing down. Like, you know you can do it all, so you do it all. But there's a problem in that, right? You don't actually want to be doing everything. And it's a little bit like a performance, right? Like, you're trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect boss, or the perfect employee, whatever it might be. And you're wearing the mask. Like, you are the capable one. You're the one who has it all together. You're the one who never ever needs help. However, sometimes high performing can create a bit of distance in a marriage because somewhere in your partner's mind, often they go, they don't need me. They don't need help. Maybe you don't need them, but you want them, right? And you do want the support and you do want the help, but sometimes it can become a bit of this wall around you. Maybe they've given you good reason to overfunction, to do all the things. And husbands can withdraw from their wives when it's like this. And the constant striving means there's nothing left for intimacy. There's a resentment cycle building really strong. Like, you're doing everything and getting no appreciation. You've lost your authentic self. You're forgetting who you are beneath all the achievements, beneath all the things you got to do. You're forgetting who you are at your core. You're no longer finding joy from anything. And marriage becomes just maybe another performance metric or just something that's there that you don't pay attention to much anymore. The loneliness of being praised for who you're pretending to be can cut you deep. People might be praising you for your marriage, for your work, for this, but sometimes it's a bit empty, right? Because you are just so exhausted. So what does this achieving and what does this success mean if you're so stuffed? So today, I want to give you permission to stop. What does just being in a relationship look like? So I want you to show up to your relationship, breathe, and drop the facade that you have it all together, that you are all these things, because you are amazing. You can do a lot of these things. You can do it all. However, at what cost? And often when you hold this up, this facade, like, I can do it, I can be it, then it's hard to let somebody in. Because in order for you to hold all this stuff, you've also made a lot of walls around yourself to protect yourself, to get through, to survive. I get it. However, that creates that distance. So what if you were just to be in your marriage? Just be you. What if you were to lean, emotionally lean on your partner or your husband? What if you were to really be vulnerable and show up? That vulnerability creates connection. Sometimes, and I have seen this play out in a lot of marriages, is that one person goes, they don't need me. They are so capable. They are so smart. They are so successful. They don't need me. And we know that couldn't be furthest from the truth, but that's what a lot of men in particular feel, that they are not needed. They are not wanted. And so they check out. They're like, they're doing their thing. I'm just here to coexist. And they mentally and emotionally check out from the marriage or the relationship because they're not needed. You do need someone to emotionally lean on, just like they do. Emotionally leaning on someone creates vulnerability and it creates connection. And then the deeper the connection, the better the relationship. So if you show up imperfect, show up messy, show up exactly how you are, that can help transform the relationship. So rest is not lazy. You really need to rest. I don't know how many women, like I have so many women that will not rest. They go, if I don't rest and this doesn't happen, the kids don't happen, and it has a knock effect, and then I go do more the next day. I understand and get the growing and never ending to do list. However, if you let one or two things slide so you can have rest, you can get those other things done usually in half the time. So please stop using that as an excuse. Yes, it's an excuse, and I'm sure you're all going to come for me in the comments. Go for it. It is an excuse. Rest is essential. You cannot have a good relationship if you do not rest and look after yourself. You cannot have anything good unless you rest. You can only sustain a functioning going 24/7 for a short period of time before you crumble. Often people will also throw up 100 reasons why not to get a babysitter, why not to look after themselves. And to be honest, really, isn't it just a form of self-sabotage and self-neglect? It's not really because you can't afford the extra $100. It's rare circumstances that might be true, but mostly it's not. It's not really because of the kids need you or this or that or whatever. No, it's self-sabotage and self-neglect. And I think I'm going to talk to you like this today because I want women to start, and men too, but this one specifically for women, I want women to start making changes in their lives. You are worth it. You deserve it. You can have it. Hit subscribe if you've been enjoying the content. It means so much to me. It helps me create better content and more content too. So if you're liking it, please let me know. If you want to see more of something, let me know. I'm open and I love your feedback and I love hearing what you get from these episodes as well. Hit subscribe and hit like on this episode. And whether it's you want the rest, whether you want the date night, whatever, no more excuses, no more self-sabotaging. You can do this. I want to talk to you about the difference between doing and being. Doing, obviously, is constantly taking actions and doing things. Being is exhaling, breathing, and knowing you are worthy and you are enough just by existing. Your worthiness and enoughness is not linked to doing. Society and culture says we are worthy enough when we do X, when we're productive, when we get all this done. Not true. And besides the fact that you can't have good productivity without rest, it just doesn't exist. There is a big difference between doing and being. And I want to know, what one are you? Like, which one are you operating out of? Do you go between both? Like, do you rest and then do you create the vulnerability in your relationship? Do you show up imperfectly? Do you take the mask off and be vulnerable with your partner? You don't have to carry the entire mental load. But often a lot of women choose to. They will delegate one thing, they will say, "Hey, can you do this?" And then when they don't do it in the time frame that they want, then they'll pick that thing back up and then they'll carry it on their merry way and they'll do it. And the partner's, "Oh, I was just about to do that," or "I haven't got to, I was just about to do it." And you didn't give him a chance to do it. If he genuinely, intentionally agreed that he would definitely do it, here's a tip, talk about the time frame too, that's really important. But then give him the space to action it. Give him the respect to action it. Most women don't anymore. And usually, I'm going to be completely honest, it is because they're stressed. It is because they're time poor, they're energy poor, they're exhausted. And usually they're the ones that have had to always do it. And the partner hasn't followed through. So I get it. However, if you've made this agreement that this is going to happen, then do not pick the thing back up. I honestly see this so often in sessions. It's, I want to take the mental load off you. I want to help you. Give me the things. And then they give the things and then they won't let them give them the time and space to do it. Maybe they're not going to be as fast as you. Maybe they're not going to think about it as often as you. 80% done is better than 100% perfect, especially when it's not done by you. You need to give the space for somebody else to carry some of the mental load. And you need to be not willing to pick it back up. Women pick it back up way too soon. I'd love for you to leave a review, subscribe, let me know what you've taken from this episode. And honestly, just take one action, whether it's some rest, whether it's some vulnerability. Let's create an epic relationship where you don't have to carry the mental load 24/7, where you don't have to be exhausted, where you don't have to perform in your marriage. It is not a performance, it is a relationship. And that means you get to be authentically you. That means you get to have support and lean on the other person. But sometimes we need to know how to do that. And sometimes we need to know how to kick ourselves out of this nervous system reaction. And you do that by those tips that we've just spoken about. Now it's time for you to go turn your relationship on.